As you saw in the intro, there's all kinds of new stuff, and this is pretty packed. The first thing I will go over is in your console, you will see this bit about train indexes if it's up and running. Some servers who have wacky train indexes that will not auto-index will crash when it tries to auto-index. I don't know why this is, but there's a way to turn that off and manually index, which is in the wiki. There's a whole article on that. So if your server immediately crashes when you join it due to the trains, then turn off the auto-indexing and follow the guide on the wiki. Alright, it's super simple. So I want a train, and then you tell it what type, freight, metro, or passenger. I am on the freight line, and it will randomly spawn a train that is of the freight variety. It's just a big boxcar train here. And there's several different trains that are set up by default. You can edit those. Check the documentation, it'll talk about it. It does matter where you spawn them. There are some tracks within the game that are like mission tracks, and they don't have nodes that go all the way around. And so the train will take some crazy turn and go across the map where there aren't any tracks because it's going from one node to the next, and it's not a complete ring. You spawn anywhere along here for the freight train, and it'll go all the way around the state. And back up through Polito and come back down through here again and end up downtown, swinging around the whole downtown area. Driving is very simple. It's just the arrow keys are up and down for throttle. And you can see the train station here for Sandy that you saw in the preview. I get the question all the time, can we add more than the number of cars that you have in your trains? You can, but don't, because OneSync will only render 10 cars, tops, consistently. And sometimes not even that. Oh, we have custom sounds. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, it'll only render 10 cars. Like, you may see 50 cars on your client because you spawned the train. Everyone else, including the AI, will only see up to 10 cars. And nobody will see the rest of them, and the AI will crash into cars that aren't there for them. So don't add more than 10 cars. It just won't do it consistently or well. And sometimes it will like spawn freakiness and things will flash in and out. We tried. We tried it a lot. There's the emergency brake function. If I get going pretty quick here. And the spacebar is the emergency brake. Throws a lot of sparks and comes to a stop. And these are all custom sounds that have been added in, and they're using the game sound engine, so that was a first for us. There's also a derail option that if you go too fast, it'll possibly derail going around a corner, or if you just want to RP a derail, you can say derail. And the train goes all wonky and comes to a stop, and it's dead in the water now. You cannot move this train now. You can't throttle it up. You can't do anything with it. The only thing that can be done from here is to delete it. So you RP your scene out of the train and derailing, and then you delete it. And that'll be the end of that. And don't DV it, because that takes forever to do every single car. You do delete train, and it will delete the entire mission train at once and reset all the stuff. This track is also good for the passenger train because it passes all the stops. There's a couple of configurations of this. For people to get on, you have to open the door. That's the number 4 on the number pad. And then 5 closes it. So make sure you open the doors so people can get on. When they get on, they will be charged money. And that money will go directly to whoever's driving the train. So you can do this as a job. Your metro train works the same way. You get to a metro track and you say train metro, and it'll put you in one. And it has a custom horn because everybody hates the other one. Which is much better than the police horn buzz thing that they've got. But this one works the same way, except on the number pad you've got the 4, which opens doors on the left side. And you've got 6, which opens the doors on the right side. So, and 5 closes them, whichever side they're on. So you can open the doors on the right side of the train for people to get on. Because it depends on which stop you're at. Stop at the next stop. Oop, don't go backwards. And open the doors on the left. And people can get on. And this is the same as a passenger train. They get on. It charges them, and then you get the money for their ride. They have to buy a ticket at the kiosks. And same deal, these trains can derail and emergency brake works and all that good stuff. If there is a specific train that you like, that you want to spawn, mostly out of the freight trains because there's so many of them, you can spawn it by index. So if you know what number it is, which you just have to memorize that, you can say train and then whatever the index is. So if I say train 13, it's going to spawn train 13. If I say 15, it'll spawn 15. So yeah, you can spawn any of the trains that you have just by using their index. So you don't have to rely on the randomness of it. So these are the overhauled trains. They come as lore trains, and I added liveries to them to make them IRL brands and companies. If you don't want the CSX and the Union Pacific and China Shipping and Sealand and all that stuff, you can use the lore trains from Overhauled Trains. If you want to do your own liveries, the templates come with this, and you can paint your own trains all day long. Do know that the passenger train car and the hobo car that comes with this are custom cars, and if you change them to the default lore trains from Overhauled Trains, those will no longer work, and you won't be able to get on the train anymore. So those do rely on the custom cars that we put in. And if you need help with that, you can ask and we will help. Anyway, that's it. I hope you love them as much as I do. BigDaddyScripts.com.